Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarva Avastang Gatopi Va Ya Smarit Pundarika Akshang Sabhaya Abhyantara Shuchi. Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Om Agyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukang Karoti Vachalam Pangong Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamahang Bande Sri Gurung Dina Taranam. Yat Kripa Tamahang Vande Parama Ananda Madhavam. Trinadapi Sunichena Charadeva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kivalam. Kalo Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatir Anyata. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Korea Aikya Arna Koriho Mane Asha. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So now that we have finished the prayers of the personified Vedas, we have 3 more chapters in Krishna book, and then there will be the extra chapters describing Krishna's Maushala-lila, or disappearance. Today we begin the chapter entitled Deliverance of Lord Shiva. First, we hear some words from our ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 88 contains 40 verses and describes how devotees, Vaishnavas, become transcendental by worshiping Lord Vishnu and then return home back to Godhead. By worship of demigods, one may get material power, but this chapter describes how an ordinary living being in the material world can be favored by Lord Sri Krishna. And this chapter also establishes Lord Vishnu's supremacy even above Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. This chapter describes how it is that the devotees of Vishnu obtain liberation, while the devotees of other deities merely obtain material opulences. Lord Vishnu possesses all opulences, while Lord Shiva lives in poverty. And yet, the devotees of Vishnu are generally poverty-stricken, while the devotees of Shiva attain abundant wealth. When Maharaj Parikshit asked Shukadeva Goswami to explain this puzzling fact, Shukadeva replied as follows. Lord Shiva manifests as false ego in 3 varieties according to the 3 modes of nature. And from this false ego arise the 5 physical elements, as well as the other transformations of material nature, totaling 16. When a devotee of Lord Shiva worships his manifestation in any of these elements, the devotee obtains all sorts of corresponding enjoyable opulences. But because Lord Sri Hari is transcendental to the modes of material nature, Krishna's devotees also become transcendental. Therefore, it is understood that Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva can each bestow or withhold favors. But whereas Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are satisfied or angered very quickly, Lord Vishnu is not. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Opening section. As we come to the end of the 10th canto, we should always keep in back of our minds the mission statement or purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was presented in the 1st canto, where Sutta Goswami is answering the 6 initial opening questions of the Bhagavatam. Ete changsha kalapungsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary full portions or parts of the plenary full portions of the Purusha avatars, namely Mahavishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. But Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Krishna is Purna Bhagavan, the complete manifestation of Bhagavan. In every age, Krishna protects the world through his different features when the world is disturbed by the demons who are enemies of King Indra. So this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam definitely negates the concept that Sri Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu or Narayan. No, Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the supreme cause of all causes. This verse clearly indicates that incarnations of the personality of Godhead, such as Sri Rama, Nrsimha, and Varaha, all undoubtedly belong to the Vishnu group, but all of them are either plenary full portions or portions of the plenary full portions of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Throughout this 10th canto, or Krishna book, we have consistently seen the same theme in all of the previous 87 chapters. Everything has been presented by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, driving home this point. And Vyasadeva, in compiling the 18,000 shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, has scientifically explained, proved, substantiated, and confirmed that although there are different categories of Bhagavan, the final conclusion is that Krishna is the origin, the source, the summum bonum, the ultimate supreme good. Bhagavatam explains the essence of Bhagavad Gita in expanded form throughout so many histories contained within Vyasadeva's 12 cantos. When Lord Chaitanya was replying to the sincere requests of Prakashananda Saraswati, after he surrendered to Sriman Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya informed the Mayavadi Acharya as follows: I consider myself to be an ordinary living being, and therefore my knowledge is very insignificant. However, the meaning of the Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra is very grave, because its author, Vyasadeva, is himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The purport of the Vedanta Sutra is very difficult for an ordinary person to understand. But Vyasadeva, out of his causeless mercy, has personally explained the meaning. So if the Vedanta Sutra is explained by Vyasadeva himself, who has written it, then its original meaning can be understood by the people in general. The meaning of the sound vibration, Omkar, is present in the Gayatri Mantra. The same is elaborately explained in the 4 shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam known as Chatu Shloki, or the original seed or nutshell verses. Whatever was spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead at the dawn of creation to Lord Brahma in those 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam was later explained to Narada by Lord Brahma. And whatever Lord Brahma told Narada Muni was again explained by Narada to Vyasadeva. Later, Vyasadeva considered these instructions in his mind. Srila Vyasadeva considered that whatever he had received from Narada Muni as an explanation of Omkar, Vyasadeva would elaborately explain in his book Srimad Bhagavatam as the natural commentary on the Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra. So, Vyasadeva collected whatever Vedic conclusions were in the 4 Vedas and 108 Upanishads and placed them within the aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra. In the Vedanta Sutra, the purport of all Vedic knowledge is explained, and in Srimad Bhagavatam, the same purport has been explained in 18,000 verses. Therefore, it is to be concluded that the Brahma Sutra is explained vividly in Srimad Bhagavatam. Also, what is explained in the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam has the same purport as that which is explained in 108 Upanishads. Herein is the essence not only of Srimad Bhagavatam, but according to Lord Chaitanya, this is the essence of all Vedas, namely, Sambandha, re-establishing our relationship with the Supreme Lord, Abhideha, activities in that understanding of one's eternal relationship with the Lord, and Prayojana, the ultimate goal of life, love of God. All of this is manifest in the 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, known as Chatu Shloki. Everything is explained in those verses. Here is the gist of what Lord Narayan instructed Brahmaji in those 4 original verses. Krishna said, "O Brahmaji, I am the center of all relationships. Knowledge about me and the practical application of that knowledge is actual knowledge. That is known as Sambandha. Approaching me for devotional service is called Abhideya. And by rendering devotional service, one gradually rises to the platform of love of Godhead, which is the chief goal of life, Prayojana. And on the platform of love of God, one is eternally engaged in the service of the Lord. Now, please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific, but also full of mysteries. O Brahmaji, I shall explain all these truths to you. Since you are a jiva, a living being, without my explanation, you will not be able to understand your relationship with me. You will not be able to understand devotional service, nor will you be able to understand life's ultimate goal without me. So now I shall explain to you my actual form, my situation, my attributes, my activities, and my 6 opulences. And by my mercy, may all these things be awakened in you." Saying this, Lord Narayan began explaining the three tattvas, or truths, to Lord Brahma. Before the creation of the cosmic manifestation, I existed, and the total material energy, material nature, and the living entities all existed within me. After creating the cosmic manifestation, I entered into it. So, whatever you see in the cosmic manifestation is but an expansion of my energy. And when the whole universe dissolves, I remain full in myself. And everything that was manifest is again once preserved within me. Lord Chaitanya continued to explain to Prakashananda Saraswati. So, in the first verse, beginning with the words Aham Eva, the word Aham is expressed 3 times. In the beginning, there are the words Aham Eva. In the second line, there are the words Paschyad Aham. At the end of are the words Sosmi Aham. This word Aham indicates the Supreme Person. By the repetition of the word Aham, the transcendental personality, who is complete with 6 opulences, is confirmed. Impersonalists do not accept the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead is stressed herein in order to impress upon them the necessity of accepting Krishna as a person. Therefore, the word Aham is mentioned 3 times. In the Vedas, to stress something important, one repeats it 3 times. Lord Krishna continued instructing Brahmaji at the dawn of creation. Actual spiritual knowledge and its practical application are considered in all these sound vibrations. Although the external energy comes from me, still I am different from it. Just like sometimes a reflection of the sun is experienced in place of the sun, but the illumination of the reflection is never possible independent of the sun. Therefore, when one is transcendentally situated, one can perceive me. This perception is the very basis of one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. Now, let me further explain this subject. Please hear from me about the process of devotional service, which is applicable in any country, for any person, at all times, and in all circumstances. Now, as far as ordinary religious principles are concerned, there is a consideration of the person, the country, the time, and circumstance. But in devotional service, however, there are no such considerations. And that is because devotional service is transcendental to all such material considerations. It is therefore the duty of every human being, in every country, in every circumstance, and at all times, to approach a bona fide spiritual master, question him about devotional service, and listen to him explain the process. Supreme affection for me is called love of God, and that is the ultimate goal of life. So let me now explain by a practical example the natural characteristics of such love. For example, the 5 material elements are existing inside and outside of every living entity. So similarly, I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, am manifest within the heart of the devotee as well as outside one's body. Only a highly elevated devotee can bind me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in one's heart by love. For wherever the devotee looks, he or she sees me and nothing else. Lord Chaitanya continued to inform Prakashananda Saraswati. Thus, one's relationship with the Lord, activities in devotional service, and the attainment of the highest goal of life, love of God, are the subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the actual meaning of the Vedanta Sutra. The author of Vedanta Sutra is Vyasadeva, and he himself has explained those aphorisms in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thus, the meaning of Vedanta Sutra is present in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the full purport of the Mahabharata is also there. The commentary on the Brahma Gayatri is also there and fully expanded with all Vedic knowledge. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme Purana, and it was compiled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnation as Vyasadeva. There are 12 cantos, 335 chapters, and 18,000 verses. The essence of all Vedic literature and all histories has thus been collected in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is accepted as the essence of all Vedic literature and Vedanta philosophy. Whoever tastes the transcendental mellow of Srimad Bhagavatam is never attracted to any other literature. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an explanation of the Brahma Gayatri mantra. Satyam Param, the absolute truth, indicates the eternal relationship with God. And the word Dhimahi, I meditate upon Vasudeva, indicates the execution of devotional service as well as the ultimate goal of life. Srimad Bhagavatam gives direct information of the mellow derived from service to Krishna. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is above all other Vedic literatures. Indeed, Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic literatures, and it is considered the ripened fruit of the wish-fulfilling tree of Vedic knowledge. Nigama kalpataror galitang phalam. And at the same time, it has become even more sweet by emanating from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. Those who are thoughtful and who relish mellows should always try to taste this ripened fruit. As long as one is not absorbed in transcendental bliss, then one should continue tasting Srimad Bhagavatam. And when one is fully absorbed in bliss, one should go on tasting its mellows forever. Thus, Lord Chaitanya advised Prakashananda Saraswati, study Srimad Bhagavatam very scrutinizingly. Then you will understand the actual meaning of the Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra. Always discuss Srimad Bhagavatam and constantly chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this way, you will be able to attain liberation very easily, and you will be elevated to the enjoyment of love of Godhead. Finally, so to deliver all fallen souls, Sriman Mahaprabhu traveled from country to country. Lord Chaitanya personally tasted the transcendental pleasure of devotional service and simultaneously spread the cult of devotion everywhere. Krishna consciousness means understanding the truth of Krishna, the truth of devotional service, the truth of love of Godhead, the truth of emotional ecstasy, the truth of transcendental mellows, and the truth of the pastimes of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally preached the transcendental truths and mellows of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam and the personality of Godhead are identical. For Srimad Bhagavatam is the sound incarnation of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes spoke for the benefit of his devotees, and sometimes he empowered one of his devotees to speak while Lord Chaitanya himself listened, as was the case with Ramananda Roy. Finally, all sane men within these three worlds certainly accept the conclusion that no one is more merciful, no one is more magnanimous than Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and no one is as kind to devotees as Lord Chaitanya. Now it is time for your insurance policy. Namaste Narasimhaya, Praklad Aklad Dayane, Hiranya Kashi Puravaksha, Shilatanka Nakalaye, Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsinho, Yato Yato Yamitato Nrsinga, Bahi Nrsinga Vidlaye Nrsingo, Nrsingham Adin Sharanang Prapadye, Tava Kara Kamalavarena Kam Adbhuta Sringam, Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam, Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Ranjit. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everything still sound good? Yes? Let me